Vicki with My Paper Connection. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I'm going to make a really fun card today. I'm going to be using the Darling Donkey stamp set, and I'm going to be making a slider card. Check it out. Okay, so there were a couple things I learned. This is my prototype. This is the first one I've ever done. There are a couple things that I learned through this. One was this is too large. I needed to make this a little bit smaller. So for my next card, which I'm going to be doing in Granny Apple Green, my backing is going to be this color, or be this size, sorry, Granny Apple Green in this size, and then the next smaller one will be where I put my donkey. The other thing that I learned in this process was that it only goes up so high, and my cute little donkey is not showing. Not enough of him is showing. And so you have to kind of figure out where your placement is going to be. I won't be putting my stand-up donkey with the rose here for the next go round. I'll be putting a different one there that you'll be able to see. So let's get started. Oh, and let me just tell you, I got this free from Celebration. I also got the paper for free. So during Celebration from now until February 28th, if you spend $50, you earn a free reward. And so I got to get the stamp set for free. I also got the paper for free just by placing an order. There's lots and lots of fun paper in here and lots of fun stamp sets as well. If you don't have a Celebration brochure and a January to July mini catalog, please let me know. I would love to get one to you. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so what I've done is I have my piece of Granny Apple Green. It is 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm just going to take it on the 8.5 side, and I'm going to score it at 4. I'm going to pull the arm out and score it at 8. Now, if you don't have a trimmer that you can pull the arm out with, then you can easily take it to the 1/2 inch mark like that and score it there. I'm going to go ahead and fold and burnish this along the score lines. And I have a piece of the Oh So Ombre paper. It's cut at 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Now normally, to keep your margins the same when you're doing a card front, it's usually like 4 by 5 1/4, but because we have folded it scored and folded it there at that 1/2 inch, it takes 1/2 inch off. So we actually need it to be 3 3/4 by 5. Okay. So now I'm going to bring my scoring board back in, and I'm going to flip it around so that the 1/2 inch side is on this side. So I'm taking along the long side and starting it at 1 1/2. Okay. So then I'm going to take my scoring blade, and I'm going to take it down to 1, and then I'm going to push it in, and I'm going to cut down to 4. And I'm going to go back up to that 1 and back down to the 4 an extra time because I'm going through cardstock and designer series paper. All right, so now I'm done with my trimmer. Okay, so now I'm going to take my little piece here, and I'm just going to kind of guide it, and I'm going to measure. I am going to end up having right at 2 inches that you will be able to see. Okay, so 2 inches here is right about here. Okay, so I have this donkey that is kind of kicking up his heels. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add that donkey over to the left-hand side. Please pardon this light that's coming through. I had prior engagements earlier in the day, so I'm actually videoing this a little bit late in the day for me, and I have a big window that has sun coming through it. All right, to do my coloring, I'm going to be using Smoky Slate, Gray Granite, and a little bit of Crumb Cake. Okay, for his mouth area, I'm going to go around with the dark Gray Granite. Just kind of go along in there, do his nose area. I'm going to do his little feet right in there. Then I'm going to come back in with the light Gray Granite. And it's such a small area that I'm just going to use the bullet point to blend it. Okay, I want a little bit of crumb cake because I want it to have a little bit of brown in there. So I'm adding just a little bit of crumb cake into that to just blend that in just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to do his body, and I'm taking the dark smoky slate. I'm just going to kind of line his ears just a little bit, a little tuft of hair. And then I'm going to take the light smoky slate and just fill it all in. I'm going to take a piece of Whisper White or Basic White, whatever you have, and I'm going to end up cutting it like this. I want to use this little guy who he's holding a rose in his mouth. So it's not going to all be seen, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm going to use a little bit of the dark petal pink, and I'm just going to go right here in his ears. Right in there. And just go along with the light smoky slate. I'll go in with the dark here and there and blend, and I'll fast forward through all of that. For his muzzle or for his mouth, I'm using the light and gray and dark gray granites. I'm using Granny Apple Green for the stem. And Magenta Madness for the rose. I'm just going to put a little bit of that dark across the top and right there across the side. And then I'll just color that in. I started coloring the legs and then I realized, oh, that's not going to show anyway. Which is a good thing because I totally got out of line. Okay, I'm going to go cut this out using my Stitched So Sweetly rectangle. I'll be right back. Okay, for the front, I'm going to stamp It's Your Birthday. Right here. And I have these little sparkle things that I'm just going to put around like that. And then on this one, I'm going to stamp Hee Haw. And I'm going to do it, rather than doing it in a straight line, I'm going to do it a couple times. Like that. So now I'm going to glue this on to my stitched rectangle that I had already cut out in Granny Apple Green. Okay, and I have a piece of Whisper White. It's 3/4 by 3 inches, and it is, I've actually already done this because I attempted to make this card earlier and I messed up. It's not that it was that hard, I just wasn't paying attention. So you put tear and tape on one side, and then you put your dimensionals on this side. Now on the first card that I made, I only put one and it didn't hold well. So now of course this was a lot bigger than it should have been too, so this will hold a little bit easier. But you just stick this inside of here in this cut area, take it down to the bottom like that. Then you're going to flip it over like this, and you're going to take the backing off of that tear and tape. Hang on a minute. Before you do that though, I forgot. You do have to cut out like a finger pull area. So you take your 1.5 inch circle punch and just do it about 1/3 of the way. 1/3 or 1/4 of the way. 1/4, I guess. And that's going to give you a finger hole punch or finger hole area. All right, so then we're just going to take this off. All right, so now we're just going to take this and try to fit it in there so that it is even all the way around, but yet you want it to be even up at the top. So not even all the way around, but even on the sides, but flush with the top up there. Then you're just going to press it in place. All right, so now I'm going to take tear and tape. And I'm sorry if you guys during this video, if there has been like a lot of light shining through or if I've been off-centered. I waited too late in the day. I won't do that anymore. Okay, so now we're just going to lift this off here like that. And then you're just going to close your card up like that. Okay. Then we will take the backing or the topping off of our dimensionals, and then we're going to just put this in place right about in here. You want to make sure your margins are even on this side, but you want to make sure that your dimensionals are about halfway, like in the center of this. Okay, so I have a piece of the polka dot tulle, and I'm just going to cut it at an angle like that, and I'm putting it together right about halfway. Okay, we'll do it like that, and then we're going to take our stapler. There's a couple ways you can actually do this. You could cut a hole there at the top if you wanted. Punch a hole. I'm okay with using the stapler. All right, so this is how it works. Isn't that just adorable? So, so cute. You can add some embellishments and things like that. You can also put a piece of Whisper White on the back here, and then you can write a special note or something to someone. But isn't it just the cutest? You can see now how, because this is so wide, it makes it a little harder for it to, like, I don't have anywhere for my hands to go. So this was my prototype though. This is much easier. I can hold it and it has room for it to slide. And the fact that I'm able to show all of my little donkey. I just love it. It's so cute. Okay, this is a slider card. I will have all the supplies, all the dimensions, everything that you need to be able to make this card on my website, which will be at the top of the screen. If you would like a catalog, please let me know. If you like this video and you want to see more, subscribe and ring the bell and you'll get notice whenever future videos come out. Bye.